Welcome back to the DAWG Mentality. Last week we introduced the 4 pillars of elite performance: discipline, attitude, will, and gratitude, the complete framework for winning. Today we're doing a deep dive into the bedrock of that framework, the one quality that all success is built upon, the one that separates the dreamers from the doers. We're talking about the D in DAWG, discipline as a superpower. Now, when you hear the word discipline, what comes to mind? Punishment? Restriction? A lack of freedom? For years, that's how the world has framed it. But today, we're going to flip that script. Because true discipline isn't about what you lose, it's about what you gain. As retired Navy SEAL Commander Jocko Willink famously says, discipline equals freedom. It's a paradox, but it's the absolute truth. The discipline to work out early gives you the freedom of energy and health. The discipline to manage your finances gives you the freedom from debt and stress. The discipline to focus on your work gives you the freedom to enjoy your evenings. Discipline isn't your cage, it's the key that unlocks it. And today, I'm going to show you how to forge that key. So where does this superpower come from? It doesn't come from grand, heroic gestures. It comes from something much smaller and far more powerful. Small, consistent, daily actions. Author James Clear, in his phenomenal book, Atomic Habits, talks about the power of getting just 1% better every day. It doesn't sound like much, does it? But the math is staggering. If you improve by just 1% each day for a year, you won't be 365% better. Because of the power of compounding, you'll be nearly 38 times better than when you started. This isn't just theory. It's been proven at the highest levels of competition. Consider the story of Sir Dave Brailsford and the British cycling team. When Brailsford took over in 2002, British cycling was a case study in mediocrity. In their entire 76-year history, they had won only a single gold medal. Brailsford introduced a strategy he called the aggregation of marginal gains. His philosophy was simple: find a 1% improvement in every single thing you do. They didn't just focus on the bike. They redesigned the seats for more comfort. They tested massage gels for the fastest muscle recovery. They even figured out which pillow and mattress led to the best night's sleep for each rider. They improved hundreds of tiny things by just 1%. The result? At the 2008 Beijing Olympics, the British team won an astonishing 7 out of 10 gold medals in track cycling. They did it again in London in 2012. This is the power of disciplined, consistent, marginal gains. It's a superpower. That story is inspiring, but how do we actually do it? How do we build the discipline to make those 1% improvements every day? The answer lies in understanding the science of habits. First, we have to get rid of the old myth that it takes 21 days to form a habit. That number is not based on research. A landmark 2009 study from University College London found that, on average, it takes 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. And the range was huge, from 18 days to as long as 254 days. What does that tell us? It tells us that building discipline takes patience and perseverance. But the same study found another crucial insight. Missing a single day did not derail the habit formation process. Inconsistency, however, did. The key is to get back on track immediately. To build a habit, we need to understand how it works in our brain. As Charles Duhigg explains in The Power of Habit, every habit follows a simple neurological loop: a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue is the trigger that tells your brain to go into automatic mode. The routine is the physical or mental action you take. And the reward is what satisfies your brain and tells it this loop is worth remembering. Understanding this loop is the key to engineering discipline. You don't just force yourself to do something, you design the process. You choose a cue, you define the routine, and you deliver a reward. Okay, let's get practical. I want to give you the single most effective, scientifically proven tool for building discipline. It comes from the work of psychologist Peter Gollwitzer, and it's called an implementation intention. It sounds complex, but it's incredibly simple. It's an if-then plan. Instead of a vague goal like, I want to work out more, you create a specific plan. If it is 7 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, then I will go to the gym for 45 minutes. Instead of, I need to make more sales calls, you create a plan. If I have finished my morning coffee, then I will call 5 new prospects. This simple shift from a goal intention to an implementation intention is transformative. A meta-analysis of 94 studies found that using if-then plans had a medium to large statistically significant effect on goal achievement. It makes you more likely to start and less likely to get derailed by distractions. Why? Because you're no longer relying on willpower in the moment. You've already made the decision. You've preloaded the behavior. The cue happens and the routine fires automatically. You've passed control to the environment. You've built a system for your discipline. Now, where do you start? The thought of building dozens of new habits can be overwhelming. The good news is you don't have to. You just need to find your Keystone habit. This is another concept from Charles Duhigg's work. A Keystone habit is a single, crucial habit that creates a chain reaction, spilling over into other areas of your life and causing a cascade of positive changes. For many people, the number one Keystone habit is exercise. When you start exercising consistently, you naturally start eating better. You sleep more soundly. You have more energy and focus at work. You didn't try to change all those things. They changed as a byproduct of the one Keystone habit. For others, it might be waking up an hour earlier, or reading for 20 minutes a day, or a daily planning session. Your discipline doesn't have to be a massive, all-out assault on every area of your life. It can be a targeted, strategic strike on one critical behavior that will give you the most leverage. So let's bring it all together. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the system that guarantees progress. It's built on the compound effect of tiny 1% improvements. It's engineered through habits that, on average, take about 2 months of consistency to become automatic. And it can be supercharged with 2 powerful frameworks: if-then planning and Keystone habits. This is the engine of the DAWG mentality. It's the work. It's the process. It's the superpower. So here's your challenge for this week. I want you to identify one Keystone habit that you believe would have the biggest positive impact on your life. Just one. Once you have it, I want you to create a single if-then plan for it. If Q, then I will routine. Write it down. Put it somewhere you can see it. And for the next 7 days, execute on that plan. Don't worry about perfection, just focus on consistency. This is your first step to building your superpower. Next week, we're tackling the second pillar, and it's the one that determines how you experience everything. We're talking about the A in DAWG. Your attitude is your advantage. Thank you for joining me on the DAWG Mentality. If you're getting value from this, do me a favor and share it with one person who is ready to build their own discipline. Until next time, find your 1% and execute.